This video is for business leaders and aspiring entrepreneurs who want to invest in their own training and development but want to assure they get quality products for both themselves and their team. So watch to the end of this video to get a deeper understanding of how marketers use group unity to improve sales, either ethically or unethically. Excuse me. So this is actually the fifth in a series, an ongoing series called Catching Dopamine Dealers. This episode is actually called Deceptions and Manipulations. So in the last episode, I introduced Dr. Robert Cialdini's 7 levers of influence used by professional marketers. And this one is actually going to focus on concrete specific examples of how dopamine dealers may use these differently to manipulate and deceive prospects into buying their products compared to ethical marketers who can also use these same techniques, but more ethically. So we'll actually go through specific examples of each one. So the first one is reciprocation. So many marketers offer a free resource guide or something in exchange for you opting into their email list. But a dopamine dealer might say something like, get my free master marketing plan resource guide and triple your sales. They tend to make over-the-top claims that are so ridiculous as to how could they say that unless it was true, when it's clearly not true. So they claim they'll triple or increase your sales by 300%, while essentially implying that they would need nothing more from you to get that. So then they'll spam you with via the new email connection with sales pitches in a way that implies that because they gave you this free resource guide, you owe them, and the way you can repay them is by paying the $279 or $979 an hour advanced coaching without offering you anything further in terms of value or developing a relationship as an ethical marketer likely would. So the next one is liking, and they'll say something like this: wow, that's a great question, you're amazing. Kind of over the top BS. And the idea is to make you feel like they like you and to induce your feeling of liking toward them. So if you do something like share a struggle with them about how your marketing isn't working as well as it might, they'll probably say, yeah, I used to be far worse at it than you until I created the master marketing plan. And last month I made $14,367. The story is almost always the same. It's the hero's journey, and that they started out equal or worse off than you, the prospect or the target is probably more accurate with dopamine dealers. But I went from zero to hero because of this product. A famous example of this would be Robert Kiyosaki of Rich Dad Poor Dad, whose fortune didn't come from actually practicing what he taught, but from selling the products, teaching the things that he himself never actually used. So another example would be social proof. So here's an example that happened to me personally. I purchased a low-cost, top-of-funnel product for a paid mastermind. Now, the dopamine dealer says, that's awesome, we're so happy you could join us from Japan, Tim. Everybody give Tim a big hand, yay! It seemed kind of ridiculous to me, and it was a manipulation. I almost burst out laughing. I was smiling, but I almost burst out laughing because it was so transparent to me, the manipulation he was engaging in. So he was essentially training the group, which is social proof, to applaud for anybody who bought the product, while trying to have the group and himself induce a dopamine spike in myself, so I would feel good and associate buying products from him with feeling good. So the mastermind resources included some really excellent guests, except the recordings were unedited to the point that sometimes they had 30 minutes of silence before the interview began, and sometimes 5 or 10 or 15-minute gaps between interviews or between questions, and he didn't take the one-time effort to edit them out. So essentially what he was saying with that implicitly is, I got your money, I don't care, take it or leave it. It might have been low cost, but it would have taken him a one-time effort, and he would have won me as a a loyal follower had he not done the shady stuff that he had done. So I emailed him to complain, and he didn't even reply. That's a good sign, a sure sign of a dopamine dealer. So the other one is scarcity. Space for our online seminar is limited, so sign up now. When in fact there's no interaction, it's a one-way conversation, and there's no good reason to have limited sign up. I've even met a webinar host who proudly and openly admitted lying. They'll never find out that there are unlimited spaces. So dopamine dealers won't hesitate to lie to you about that or about anything else. If what they say is illogical, contradictory, or seems insincere, click away, or if you decide to stay, keep track of how many times you get that sense of insincerity, contradiction, or whatever before deciding whether to trust them or click away. The next one is loss aversion, and a famous example of this is Tai Lopez is extremely famous for saying, this course will only be available for the next few days or for a limited time, and then it will be gone forever. And then a few days or a few weeks later, he says, well, I was going to cancel this forever, but some of my students begged me to keep it on so I could help you. So he reluctantly sold it to a few thousand extra people. So he makes a lot of claims in his stuff, and especially a lot of stuff that's spun or has been entirely debunked. And check out the link in the description for more information and a video on that. It's not mine, it's somebody else's. It's independent of my opinion. It just tells you more about that specific example of a very famous dopamine dealer. So the next one is commitment and consistency. And dopamine dealers often say things like, are you ready to change your life? Take the next step, invest in yourself. These are all yes, yes, yes questions, and they know that. It's usually followed by a long silence to make you feel uncomfortable, like this. Are you ready to change your life and invest in your dreams? Silence. Why? Well, the idea is it's to make you feel compelled to actually answer, either in your mind or out loud, or whatever it is, often publicly in the free seminar that's actually designed to upsell you rather than educate you about anything. It's another sign of dopamine dealers. They give you little or no value when they give you the free seminar that's an hour long, which is mainly 55 minutes of selling you crap and 5 minutes of giving you valid education. Since you said yes to their question, and this product has been framed as the answer, it's like, you really want to invest in your life? Well, you said yes. Well, if you said yes, this product is the way to do that. And by not buying it, you are acting inconsistently with your own words, and that's what commitment and consistency is. It makes you look or feel like a hypocrite because they engineered a yes out of you. So it's like, really? Do you mean it? If you mean it, why aren't you investing in yourself? So the last one actually here, are we already there? Yeah, we are. Okay, so the next one is called unity. And unity is a technique or a practice that is increasing your feeling of connectedness with a group. And when I worked for a major retailer, one that you definitely know, in the morning the meetings ended with the synchronous clapping. The customer is always number one, or something like that. And so dopamine dealers might ask you to do something like that too. Repeat after me, often followed by a call to action of the purpose. And then immediately after they finish doing that group unity exercise, where everybody does the same actions or makes the same words at the same time, the host thanks someone. Thank you for your purchase, Tim. You won't regret it. Good purchase in making your life better. Or they have a plant in the call, and you would never know that. And the plant says, I just invested in my better life, or thank you, I just bought the product, I'm so excited about getting started. Immediately after the group unity activity, it creates a sense that to be a good group member or to belong in this group, to be one of the cool kids, purchase now. And it happens just by coincidence, just after the group unity activity. So that's it for the video. The recommended video is Unity, the 7th of the 7 levers of influence, which goes deeper into how it's used either ethically or unethically. It'll be specifically on that one particular lever of influence. This has been Crush It Club 216, Catching Dopamine Dealers, Deceptions and Manipulations. My name is Tim B. Green. Bye for now.